So first thing, don't panic. Don't just start blindly applying for jobs. Step one, let's start with this. Type out or write out the attributes of your next job. What do you actually want to do? If you know the title or titles, the job duties, maybe benefits, just anything and everything that gets you excited, that makes you want to go to work. Write out something that sounds like what you want to do. Having the clear direction right away, or some direction, is going to make the search part of this, the job search, technically searching, much easier, much more effective. So we get that down. Good. Awesome. Let's move to step two. So step two, does your current resume tell the story of where you want to go next? So does it tell the story? Think of it almost as like a chapter book, but it's your career. Is the next chapter, the next job that you just wrote down in step one, is it logical? Is it compelling? Does it make sense to come next, basically? If your resume does not align with your career goals, so you look at this and you say, wow, a big change here, it doesn't really make sense. It'd be tough to explain why I want to do this job to an interviewer. That's okay. It's time to revamp the resume. That's all that means. And I'm going to tell you how to revamp the resume in a way that isn't horrible. So step three now, assuming you are revamping it in some capacity, which you should if you haven't in a while, reach out to a previous manager. Why? Well, we forget the stuff that we did, that we accomplished, the projects that we worked on, and the impact, really, that we have because we get caught up in the day-to-day. So by calling a previous manager, it doesn't have to be the most previous one, but somebody who you had a good relationship with that appreciated your work, ask them what you did while working for them that's relevant to what you want to do next. Yeah, it's kind of a tough question, but they'll enjoy answering it. I think they will. So the feedback here you're going to get is probably going to be gold. You probably did forget some of the things you accomplished or that you worked on. It gives you a third-party perspective on your strengths, your accomplishments, and we just overlook things that we do ourselves psychologically all the time. So it's a great move. Now comes the updating the resume part, and this is the part that I like a lot because it doesn't involve much effort. Paste your resume into ChatGPT, and you may be able to attach it. If you can attach it, great. If you can't, that's okay. Just paste one job experience and then the other in chunks, and just say that it's a resume. It will understand. Then either above, in fact, I would probably put this at the very top of the ChatGPT section on the screen where you can type and give it commands. I would say something like, here are some additional experiences I'd like to incorporate into my resume. Incorporate them. Something like that. Hit enter. Boom. It will incorporate those experiences, those accomplishments that you wrote down from your previous manager, and will incorporate them into your resume. Then take a look at the resume. Do you like it? Do you love it? Yes, then good. If there's still some room to grow, you can command ChatGPT with something like tell a better story, or make my resume more elegant, or make my resume more engaging, utilize more data points. Wherever it needs a little boost, try it with ChatGPT. If you don't get what you are looking for, then you can at that point update manually, but new version should be looking really good. Now it's game time. This is step 6. Use LinkedIn if that is the tool of times wherever you live. It probably is. Go to the job search at the top. Make sure you tick the box that are bringing forward more recent applications, like jobs posted within 24 hours, as recent as you can to still get results, and just go wild. At this point, volume game. The reason I say that is because naturally, it's really a matching game. It's about having similar values to an organization. It's about getting along at a surface level with who you interview with. It's about aligning to the hiring manager's goals. And so really it's like speed dating. And it's step 7. This is maybe the most important thing that I learned that allowed me to interview over 50 times to find the next job. And that is, don't get emotionally attached to any job description, to any interview, any perfect interview that you come across. No, just be very robotic about it. It will help you maintain a clear head. It will help you push through this. It will help you interview more because it takes less effort to not be emotional about something. And so therefore, you'll find it more of a relaxed conversation than anything. And then you'll perform better too. But that leads to step 8. If you're not emotional about this, then you can be a scientist. So analyzing where you tend to get the no, within the interview process, because if you're interviewing for the same types of roles, you should, or you are likely going through similar interview processes. So for me, for example, I learned that my resume, I kept getting a no after third round on a typical 4-round process, and it was for a similar reason each time. So I learned that my resume was not telling the story that I needed it to tell to to move forward. It was telling too much of a top of sales experience with not too much bottom of sales experience. And so I actually just put my resume back in ChatGPT, step 9. This is our iterate and improve. And I asked it, I commanded it with something like focus my resume a little bit more on bottom of sales experience, bottom of sales funnel experience, and then probably did a couple iterations of me less there or whatever until I felt comfortable with it, until it told a story that I felt truly embodied me. And then, hey, it's back to step 10, get after it again and keep doing that. Practice telling your adjusted story, of course, and then get into the interviews and just keep doing that. Keep iterating, look for something different to do each time. And then maybe most importantly, as you go through this, is don't judge yourself. Don't worry if you get a no. Don't feel bad. Don't get angry. I got a little bit upset a couple of times and talked through it with some very patient hiring managers and just keep going. Keep going. You will ultimately, if you continue to apply 5 applications a day, go for that. If it's 3, that's okay. Fill up the pipeline, keep it going. You'll find the match eventually. Best of luck. Appreciate you tuning in.